Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg, and this movie's doing their own version of Aladdin or Indiana Jones. Hey, might solve a mystery or rewrite history with DuckTales. Woohoo! Oh man. Hey guys, it's me, the media guy here. I just couldn't resist doing my own variation of the DuckTales theme song. Oh man. But anyways, if my own variation of the DuckTales theme song didn't give it away, today I'm here to share my thoughts on DuckTales the movie Treasure of the Lost Lamp. Now, I assume that most of you grew up with the original DuckTales TV show back in the 80s and might have grew up with this movie. Now, before I continue on, yes, I am very familiar with DuckTales, not just the original late 1980s Disney cartoon show, but also the 2017 reboot. And yes, I am... sorry, there was a little glitch there. Yes, I do know that the Nostalgia Critic did an entire retrospective on both DuckTales and the original, the original and the 2017 reboot. Now, and I'm here to share my thoughts on this movie. Now, I don't know if a lot of you are familiar with this movie, but don't worry. Every VHS tape and DVD I own has a description. DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, is the first feature-length film starring Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webbegar Vanderquack. Whoa, what a name! The Egyptian desert becomes a non-stop adventure zone as the DuckTales team pursues the legendary treasure of Alibaba, which is kind of like the DuckTales version of Alibaba. Alibaba's ancient pyramid. When the daring ducks make off with the riches, little do they know there's a magic lamp among the gems. A lamp with a wacky wish-granting genie inside. And it's referring to this fella right here. When Murloc the evil sorcerer, which is this evil guy voiced by Christopher Lloyd, when Murloc the evil sorcerer follows them back to Duckburg, an incredible battle erupts over the lost lamp. Oh boy. But in the thrilling climax, Scrooge and his nephews learn a lesson far more valuable than even the world's greatest treasure. Oh boy, the description isn't wrong, that's for sure. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this one is actually a great movie. And for someone who didn't grew up watching DuckTales in general, I actually find this movie to be pretty enjoyable. Great characters, lots of great action moments, great animation, a lot of slapstick comedy throughout the film. And yes, well, it is a cartoon after all. Most cartoons are known for doing slapstick humor, if you know what I mean. Hey! Yeah, I am, and just to be clear, I am familiar with Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, who are Donald's uncle and nephews. They did appear in a few Donald Duck cartoons. Heck, even Scrooge McDuck and Huey, Dewey, and Louie made a few appearances on House of Mouse from time to time. I gotta love that Genie Duck fella. I mean, he is so hilarious. He's literally a real quack up. I mean, he's kind of like Genie. He's kind of like the other Genie from the movie Aladdin. And yeah, that's another thing. This film is sort of like Aladdin, but it's more like but it's kind of like, but it's sort of based on the DuckTales TV show, and it kind of has more of that Indiana Jones style to it. So I guess in a nutshell, it's kind of like a combination of Indiana Jones and Aladdin rolled into one, if that makes any sense. There are times where the boys try their best to hide the genie from Uncle Scrooge, because I guess they weren't sure how he would react if they knew that their new friend is a genie. There's another thing I like about this movie is Webby wishing for an elephant, and Mrs. Bigley comes into the room and looks very surprised and frightened to see an elephant in the room. I don't blame her. Another thing I like about this movie is the villain himself. Murloc, the evil sorcerer. Oh man, I tell you, this guy is like the type of person you do not want to mess around with. I mean, he's like an evil sorcerer who has an endless supply of wishes, and he could transform into any animal in the world. And he's like one of those villains who wants to take over the world. Quite an old cliche, if you know what I mean. We don't get too many movies like this these days. Which is true. I mean, most modern day movies aren't usually that perfect. But to be fair, you would get a few decent movies from here and there. Like the 2023 Super Mario Bros. Movie is an example. So is Scoob, Space Jam 2 New Legacy, Moana 2, Zootopia 2, and Plankton from SpongeBob is getting his own spin-off movie. But I'm getting off topic here. I think DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, is very enjoyable, and it's also pretty hilarious too. And even though I didn't grow up watching DuckTales in general, heck, I already have two other DuckTales VHS tapes that contains 4 episodes from the show and 2 different VHS tapes. So at least I have some acknowledgement on DuckTales in general. And I will still thank the Nostalgia Critic for doing a retrospective on the original 1980s cartoon, as well as talking about the first episode of the 2017 reboot. And yes, Scrooge McDuck did have a small cameo in Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers the movie. So at least I'm somewhat familiar with DuckTales in general. But I'm getting off topic here. As far as this movie goes, it's pretty fun. And sure, maybe some people might make an argument about how it may not be a perfect film. I guess I understand that. Sometimes you can't expect every movie to be perfect. But hey, I think DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, can be very fun for everyone to enjoy. And yes, I am aware that this is made by Disney Movie Tunes, which I'm guessing is an independent Disney-related production that makes a lot of direct-to-video or made-for-TV movies. But somehow DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, has that cinematic quality to it. I just watched the entire thing from beginning to end, and it's kind of like watching this movie at the cinemas. Although you guys might point out there's a different reason, which I totally understand. But anyways, if you guys haven't seen this movie yet, I highly recommend it. It's really hilarious. I already described how it has a great story, great animation, great characters, great action moments, and a lot of slapstick humor from here and there. Yes, I already mentioned a few of them, like the elephant in the room. Literally. So I'll give this movie 5 magic duck lamps out of 5. So if you guys haven't seen this movie yet, go right ahead. I'm sure you guys can find like a VHS and DVD copy of this movie at a random thrift store, Walmart, Target, since those stores do have a DVD section. Or you could probably find a DVD copy of this movie off from Amazon and order it, which is fine by me. Have a great day, and make sure you continue going duck hunting. Oh boy, because I think it's duck season. Better watch out, Daffy Duck.